I just finished building this bookshelf, so it's time to add some books to it. The first book I'll be adding to my bookshelf is Physics for Engineering 1, which I use for my Physics 1 class. It's a standard Physics 1 textbook. For my modern physics class, we used 20th Century Physics by Dr. Reynolds. He was the professor of the course and wrote the book. For planetary science, we used Fundamental Planetary Science, Physics, Chemistry, and Habitability. This book was super tough and had really challenging problems at the end of all the chapters. Of course, we had to use Introduction to Quantum Mechanics by Griffiths for quantum mechanics. Another classic is Classical Dynamics of Particles and Systems by Thornton and Marion. And all these black specks that I have on my textbooks are from working in the lab, and it's residue from the whiteboards using black expo marker. One of my favorite classes I took was StatMech, and we used An Introduction to Thermal Physics by Dan Schrödinger. Appendix B has some of the best explanations of the gamma function that I've ever seen, and my professor did an excellent job the very first day of class explaining Gaussian integrals. Surprisingly, for E&M, we did not use Griffiths. We used Engineering Electromagnetics, which was another book that Embry-Riddle made us use. And wrapping up my undergraduate studies, we used An Introduction to Optics for my optics class by Pedrati. Now, starting grad school, I have Mathematical Methods for Physics and Engineering, which is the thickest book I have with over 1,300 pages, but there's a PDF online if you'd rather use that. Instead of Jackson for electromagnetics, we use Theory and Computation of Electromagnetic Fields. Of course, I still had to get Classical Electrodynamics by Jackson, and I'm just happy I didn't have to solve all the Green's problems in the book. For modern physics, our class used Modern Physics for Scientists and Engineers. And to wrap up my graduate studies so far, we use Classical Mechanics by Goldstein. I also have some random books. This one is the Finite Element Method, which I haven't read yet, but it's on my list. My friend Nick is doing his PhD in physics at the University of Florida, and when I went to visit him, he gifted me this book called The Models of Disorder: The Theoretical Physics of Homogeneously Disordered Systems. Just flipping through, it's a very mathy and complicated book, so I might have to do a few more years of studying before I can read this book and fully understand all of the content. One year for Christmas, I got The Evolution of Physics by Albert Einstein and Leopold Infeld. My sister was walking one day and came across a home that was giving away free books. This was one of them, Lectures on the Calculus of Variations. This is also another very math-heavy book, and I haven't had a chance to read it yet. The other book my sister picked up for me was The Music of the Primes, Searching to Solve the Greatest Mystery in Mathematics. This is my favorite book that I've ever read. The author does a great job of going through and giving historical context all the way up to the Riemann hypothesis. There's some math in it, but it really is just a great history book and teaches you about prime numbers and how they came to be. I'm also adding the Handbook of Precision Engineering to my bookshelf. Electronic Devices and Circuit Theory. This old one, An Introduction to Physics for Scientists and Engineers. And then my aunt's old Calculus 1 book, Calculus and Analytic Geometry. Time to get them on the shelf. Looks good.